YouTube, what's going on, man? Today we're gonna be breaking down an R&B beat I made the other day that was inspired by Division and Jagged Edge's song called "What's Up." So let's hop into FL and let's get this breakdown going. I started with this piano progression right here. Something super simple but still has that emotion to it, and then from there it's really we're just adding layers on top of layers, right? So the next thing I added was this melody that goes on top of it. As for the effects, it's pretty simple. So on the chords, all I have is an EQ just to bring up some of the high end, and I added some reverb. And for the piano, same thing, some EQ again. I added some reverb and some delay. So once that was done, I wanted to add a pad. Super simple, super ambient, super smooth. Then, so once I had the pad, what I wanted to do was add another pad, but that was more on the higher end, that was also playing a little counter melody. So here's what that sounds like. And then the last layer is the bass line, which is super simple. It just follows the root notes of the chords, and that's it. Here's what all the melodic elements sound like together. And then all that was left after that was the drums. So I really wanted to have a nice bounce to it. I didn't want to go with the typical two-step hi-hat pattern. So here's what the drums sound like. So there's actually quite a lot of processing on the sounds themselves. I didn't really do anything. What I did was I created a drum bus and did some parallel compression. So I used the MOTT, I used the Arturia disc tube for distortion, and then I added some reverb on it and kept it real low. So when you play it soloed, you can hear a lot of that reverb, but now when I play the whole thing together, it kind of just blends all together. And then all that was left after that is arranging it, doing the mixing. And on the master, I have the ozone imager, which is basically making all the bass mono. Some of the low end, I wanted to bring it more to the center, and some of the high end, I wanted to spread out a bit. Then I added the virtual mix rack, which has the FG73, which is basically an emulation of the Neve preamp, which is amazing for R&B. Then on the virtual mix bus, I also use the Neve console emulation. Then we have the FG36, which is adding a tiny bit of high end, then some compression. And finally, the FGX2 limiter, which is doing a bit of compression just to bring everything together and is making sure it's loud enough. Here's what the full beat sounds like.
Is that Kizzy?